So anything we really want to get into before we, like, jump into things?
I don't think I really have anything.
Yeah, all I know what's been going on has been the whole mic situation, where it's like, I should probably mention for anyone watching, Lucky's mic just stopped working, and we don't know what the problem is. The computer won't recognize it, and everything we've tried has been a disaster.
Yeah,
So, yeah, new bad mic time, and we just have to deal with it until we can figure out a solution.
yeah. Coming at you live from the $20 mic.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but yeah, you do what you gotta do. So it's like,
uh,
sorry,
say
what?
I ordered this mic and it said they dropped it off, but it wasn't in my mailbox. Turns out one of my neighbors had it and she didn't check her mail until like this morning. So I had to
What?
go through a
Okay.
D&D yeah, so I had to go through a D&D session using only text.
Yeah, oh boy, that was not great. Thankfully, it was a short one, but holy crap, that was rough.
On the plus side, I could get a word in edgewise just by typing it in.
Yeah, that's true. It's always like a weird thing you just have to like make your own path on, I guess, while you're like, dealing with groups of people. And it's like, okay, I'll just say something, so I just have to like wait for a break and just force my way into the conversation, or it's not gonna happen.
I hate doing that though. I hate it when
Yeah.
I hate it when people interrupt me, and so I can't stand the thought of interrupting someone else.
Yeah, it's like it is what it is, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be the tagline for this entire episode. Just, it is what it is. You do what you have to do. Even if that means in this episode, hey, some days you just have to take some kids down a cliff and just make them relive their worst fears to steal their souls. Yeah, it is what it is. You do what you gotta do.
Yeah. This Metal Phantom one is gonna kill you.
He's gonna kill you in your dreams, not like the other guy though, like by just making you live through trauma.
Yeah.
Man, I as well mention, like as we're starting to get into this is a good ass episode.
It's alright. Like, I don't know, it didn't blow me away or anything, but it's
Yeah,
alright.
like it wasn't anything like this wasn't, Takuya going back as like a Digimon in time or whatever or anything like that. But this is like a surprisingly good episode. I like this a lot.
Yeah. I'm just surprised it's not Masaru who broke through the illusion or whatever.
Yeah.
The nightmare.
So yeah, we start off our group sort of like exploring around trying to get to where Makirimon is, because that's a whole thing. It's like, okay, yeah, just go down this cliff of like abandoned apartment buildings, I guess you'd say. Like, yeah, of these like Japanese buildings, basically, these industrial like city buildings. And it's like, it's really cool area, it's cool set piece. They just look down in this thing, and it's like, it's so ominous. I love the atmosphere to this. They just look at this and they're like, oh, I have a bad feeling about this crap. As they should, because it turns out the bottom of this cliff is the freaking metal Grim Reaper. And he's here to not shred guitars, but he is here to steal your soul.
Yeah, Gatsumon and Ikuto are looking at a pool of water, scrying pool thing to be like, okay, yeah, that's where they are. And Gatsumon's like, I'll just leave them, they're screwed.
Yeah, they've got, what's his name, like Sunomon or whatever, Sukaimon. They've got like Karamon's in training form, and they're able to like, yeah,
Kuramon. Yeah, Kuramon.
Kuramon. Okay, yeah, I think I might be seeing. No, Sumemon's the in training one. Yeah, this is the baby form. Yeah, Kuramon. I think that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're looking through its eye and they're able to, like, see what's going on. And they're like, oh, they've gone down this place? Alright, they'll just be, like, taken out by Melphantomon. Yeah, you specifically say that, yeah, no one who goes down there comes out unharmed. That'll, like, deal with them for sure. So it's immediately like, oh, what's going on, like, what's gonna happen to our heroes and all that stuff. It turns out the answer is, yeah, Melphantomon just traps you, and because he's an ultimate, he just, like, tries to steal your soul by making you live through your grief in, like, a dream sequence. And it's, like, surprisingly well done. Like, it's not the best, it's not like, like, top tier or anything, but, wow, that line's gonna be annoying. But it's like, it's better than you'd expect it to be, right?
It's fine.
Man, I really like this, because it's like, yeah, you see Masaru's, it's kind of like, as the goofy dream, and it's like, okay, yeah, whatever, It's like, his sister is being carried away on the back of Dromojimon, like, how he wrote it that one time. And he's like, oh no, I'll save you, and like a bunch of Numemon show up, and every time he punches one out, it forms two of them.
Yeah, and then, the Numemon just won't die.
Yeah, Man, I like this, but it's like, it's so goofy, it's clearly like a comedic thing, but it's also like, oh, you can actually read into this a bit. And it's like, okay, Masaru has, like, fears of losing this, like, sister specifically, and, like, he's afraid of his fists not being able to, like, hurt things. He's afraid of, like, being, like, powerless, essentially, is what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, that totally checks out. It's just hailed in kind of like a goofy, like, oh, don't worry about it kind of way. And we start seeing the other ones.
Yoshino's pretty weak, go figure.
I disagree. Yeah, because it's like, you don't get much focus. But it's like, okay, there's something here. This is like giving me hope for a character. There's like more going on under the hood, right?
I guess. I mean, until they actually go into it, it's just like, okay, her parents did something and she's mad, and then we cut away from her thing because it's unimportant.
Yeah, it's like, out that's gonna be like, oh, her parents were abusive or something, but it's like, alright, was there like a breakup? Was she like, going through bullying? Or like, was there some other thing going on here? Like, it's ambiguous, but it's also like, okay, yeah, there's like some trauma in her past that's like lingering with her connected to this. And they have a cool like color palette for it and everything. It's like, okay, yeah, now you have my attention. There's like something going on other than just like, oh, female character is the girl or whatever. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a character here. Like, it feels like this is pretext for whatever her evolution's gonna be about. Like, there's no way we're not gonna come back to this, I feel like.
I mean, you're probably right. But as of right now, it's just, we don't have any information aside from nothing.
Yeah, it's like we're like putting Chekhov's gun on the table for something, and I don't know what. I don't know why I did the actual mime of putting something on the table. The actual face cam can't even see that. It just made a weird sound.
Well, you do have the face cam, so they would have seen that you did something. I don't know.
They will have seen my arm move and heard a noise and been like, wait, what? Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's fine.
But the main focus of this episode is Toma, who, even though he has the most focus on his, I don't know, it's just, these things kind of bug me, because it's always like, it's like how painfully obvious it is that it's like a dream or something.
Yeah.
He's like desperately trying to prevent the death of his mother when she's like phasing through him and everything. And it's like, dude, come on. It's clearly not real.
Man, this is one of those things I'm just gonna hard disagree on, because it's like, alright, it's obvious it's a dream. I don't think that's the point. I don't think he's, like, confused that this is, like, reality. I think he just doesn't want to experience it again. I think it's just, like, that simple. He's like, oh no, but no, don't do this. I have to stop her. And it's just that, like, just hard, like, emotional response that, he's, like, going through. It's like you see Mel Phantom on the background just, like, dominating the screen every now and then, and he's like, oh, you can't stop her, he's like, what are you going to do? You can't change the past. You can't run from, like, what's happened. Ha ha ha. It's like, it's such a good shot.
Yeah, it's like, get lost in your dreams, blah, blah, blah,
give
whatever.
Into despair, go through this horrible event again, and just give up.
Yeah, and then he does, but then he doesn't give up, and it gives him power.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he goes through this horrible emotional experience, but he, like, manages to basically fight through it, and it gives him the resolve to evolve, basically.
Yeah, it's like, my mom's dead, but something, your memory will live on in me, and then he goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, like, he has to come to terms with, like, the death of his mom, who died, like, right in front of him by effing truck. Which, as cliche as it is, was actually pretty impactful to me.
It's pretty brutal for it to be something he witnessed firsthand, yeah.
Yeah, like, the way it's like, it's so, like, harder than you'd expect. And it's like he's at her bedside as, like, the thing flatlines, and it's like, oof.
Yeah, and like you see the moment where she's about to get hit, and like she throws Toma back onto the sidewalk to get him out of the way.
Yeah, just not even think of herself. And it's like they're going to the festival, and he's like, forcing her to, like, rush and everything. It's like, I think simple but effective is the right way to describe this episode, right?
Yeah,
like, it's not
fine.
Yeah, it's not doing anything crazier outside the box. It's just like, okay, we're just gonna have, like, a dream episode where we just, like, explore these characters' emotional trauma, and we're just going to do that really well. And it's like, okay, I can get on board with that,
Yeah. My thoughts on it aren't fair, because I'm thinking of, like, the Gurren Lagann, like, dream sequence.
Yeah,
but
nothing's
where everybody
gonna compare
lives
to something like that.
Yeah. Everybody's living out, like, their dream, like, life, and, like, they have to accept that that's not how things are and fight through it, and, all the cool stuff Gurren Lagann does.
Man, I feel like that's super unfair, because it's like,
super, it's super unfair to be like, but look at these things that did this kind of idea way better. But even then, it's like, it's not even the same thing. This is like a past memory and not like an ideal life or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the Gurren Lagann thing. I feel what makes that, like, extra great is that it's like, it's the opposite of this, right? Like, the Gurren Lagann is like, alright, we're gonna give you everything you ever want, and it's gonna be this, like, this complacency that's keeping you in place. Like, you're gonna all live, like, nice, quiet, peaceful lives where nothing has to change, and everyone's like, no, but we have to keep fighting. We have to, like, move forward and embrace the hardships of, like, the abyss. Yeah, and it's just like, it's like, with the themes, it's so good, and it's like the entire episode is just them dealing with that and trying to break out of it.
Yeah, like the scene, the scene where Viral is like living like a life with like a family, and like he has a kid and everything, and it's like something that can't happen to him because like beastmen are sterile.
It's like, give up on this entire fake life and just lose it all so you can, like, just fight for the future.
Yeah, it's so good that Naruto copied it.
Pretty much, and they copied it kind of badly, because I don't think we even see inside the dream world that much.
Yeah, I don't know because my only exposure to it is like from the game, and it definitely doesn't go into it. But it's like
Yeah,
the implication is everybody is living their ideal lives in like the Infinite Tsukiyomi,
pretty
and
much.
it yeah, and it's like, oh, Naruto did it, but they didn't do it as good.
I think all you need to know about that to know how much worse is that it's like that was the end of the series and they had a lot of filler episodes just ready and pinned. So it's like, okay, you want to throw a filler episode? Now's the time to do it. Use that animation. So we just got like just a crap load of like freaking filler at the very tail end of the series during the emotional like climax of the final arc. We got the infinite Tsukiyomi of filler. We
Yeah,
could
it's
not
like
escape the dream filler.
yeah, it's like yeah, do whatever you want. None of this has to be real because they're in a dream.
Yeah, because why
Excuse me.
not? Also, I'll say, like, shout out to the dream episode in, like, Demon Slayer. Or I guess not episode, more of, like, the arc. But yeah, freaking, like, Mugen Train is, like, fantastic.
I have not seen Demon Slayer.
Is, like, man, that... I won't, like, spoil much, but it's, like, the way they find a way out of that is, like, the best. Because it's just straight up like, okay, if you die in the dream, you don't die in real life. Instead, if you die in a dream, you wake up, right?
Okay.
Because, yeah, of course. So it's like, there is a fight against a character whose power is to put people into the dream world. And every time, like, the hero has to, like, go into the dream world and immediately, like, recognize what's going on and kill himself in, like, a second, or, like, get impaled by, like, one of their arms or something. And just kind
That's
of, like, keeps escalating from there.
that's pretty good that you have to realize it's a dream and then kill yourself.
Yeah. It's like there's a whole thing where it's like, oh, if you look into his eyes, you go into the dream world. So he, like, has to figure out a way to, like, just avoid the eyes, and they get him, and he goes into the dream world, and he's, like, trying to find a way to, like, kill himself and then wake up with his eyes closed. It's like, oh, it's so good, though. It's such a good shonen setup. I love it. But yeah, just Demon Slayer is good. Water is what? What else is new?
Yeah. But yeah, Toma goes Super Saiyan. I keep saying it like that, but they get like a digital aura. He unlocks Mach Galgamon. He gets ultimate.
Yeah, it basically is just going Super Saiyan.
Yeah, Mach Galgamon has the wrestling championship belt. Just
So thoughts on Mach Galgamon so far?
he's fine.
I like him, yeah.
It's an all right design. I'm not crazy about it, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get behind it. I'm going real. I think the evolution from this is like it's less thematically appropriate for the line, I feel like, but it's also just way better overall. Like Mirage Galgamon is just like the coolest. But yeah, Mach Galgamon's a cool ultimate. You know, it's like he flies around fast and he punches things, and I like it.
Yeah.
I should mention, probably the big thing of note in this is that it's like, alright, Evolution episode first off, but also, like, Mel Phantomon just kind of casually throws an entire, like, multi-story, like, freaking, like, large city, like, building at him, like, just essentially like a stone's throw off from like a skyscraper or some crap. Like, he throws an entire like high-rise building, I think would be the right term for it. And it's like Mach Galgamon just catches it and he throws it back.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
If nothing else was going to inform you on the power scaling of ultimates, this should tell you how strong ultimates are.
And this is a step below this guy's a step below Reapermon.
Oh, yeah. Man, I feel like there's... Oh.
I was just going to say, I don't know if Reapermon has appeared in anything... Oh, wait, he appeared in the 2020 reboot. But other than that, I don't know if he showed up in anything outside of Rumble Arena.
Reapermon has showed up in the card game.
Okay, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, but yeah, worth pulling out. Weirdly enough, he appeared in, like, the Digimon Tamers set for some reason. But yeah, cool they showed up at all. You know, good pick.
Maybe it's just because Tamers Digimon are in Rumble Arena.
Maybe. That might be it. How they had that, and they had the big, like, Digimon World set where they referenced all the, like, partners and stuff from, like, Next Order and, like, the Redigitize and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Yeah, there's the big freaking set where it's, like, just the card art is just Sukamon on Garbage Mountain with the fishing rod, and you can see the MP training side in the background.
Nice. Okay, I think Metal Phantomon first appeared in Savers.
Yeah, makes sense. This seems like when he'd show up first. Like, outside of, like, an art book or something, this feels right, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I feel like there's something I should probably mention, because there's a thing in, like, how I describe this? There's a thing, like, you know, character fights where people discuss power scaling and stuff. Like, sort of, like, versus battle things where it's like, okay, there's, like, a fairly useful tier list they've come up with for, like, judging character powers, which is, like, okay, what could you physically, like, take out as the character, yo? Because it's like, alright, there's person level, which is like, you know, something like, oh, Captain America or James Bond or something, where it's like, alright, you like beat people, you're like human level. Probably not like Captain America, actually, but like, you know, you're basic like humans. And there's like wall level, which is like, okay, you could probably like bust down a wall, you're like a step above. That'd probably be more where like Captain America is, I'd imagine. The freaking, like, I think the next step up is like building level, and then it goes like small town level, large town level, like continent level, planet level, multi-continental level in there somewhere. It goes up to like galaxy and like universal and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I'd imagine that it's like rookies are like high person level and champions are like wall level, and this is like, you know, building level. I think that sounds about right.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like that's like roughly where you're at, and you get to Mega, it goes to like, you know, like large city to like multi-continental to like, you know, planet level or whatever based on the Digimon, and anything past that's like ultra. I don't know, that sounds about right to me, right?
Gaiamon would be universal level.
Yeah, that seems about right. That seems legit. Like, Zed Millenniumon is technically like multiversal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a handy thing I might come back to later at some point. But yeah, so they do the whole thing, they like beat the thing, Masu gets to punch out a freaking spider and then do his thing, and it's cool. Worth knowing that we do get the first instance of Sunflowermon actually doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunflowermon does the sunshine beam and wipes out a whole bunch of Dokugumon.
Yeah, she takes out like 6 of them at once in one go, and it's like, okay, yeah, you did it.
Congrats, Sunflowermon, you finally did something.
I guess Sunshine Beam is stronger than I was expecting, but alright.
It only took, what, 15 episodes?
Yeah, at least they got one in. At least they get one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, they just beat the thing and that's the episode. It's like, oh man, I'm glad that that's over. Oh no, Yoshino's sick. Oh crap.
Yoshino just falls over and got a virus out of nowhere.
I'm gonna be real, the next episode and the Ghost Game episode, I'm gonna have so little to talk about. But that's fine. Anything else we want to say out this one?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, this, I like this. This is just cool. This is just a cool little time.